Good morning, Future Road. Happy Veterans Day. Today is November 11th, and it is Veterans Day, and I told you yesterday we were going to talk about that today. So let's start our day first with our Pledge of Allegiance, and let's stand up and face the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now we'll have our moment of silence. All right, so as we said, today's Veterans Day, and it is the day in our country, America, where we take some time and we stop and we think about veterans. And so you have to think, what is a veteran? So hopefully some of you know, and you might even have a parent or a grandparent or brother or sister or cousins who are veterans. And what that means is they have served in our military. One of our branches of military, they were a soldier in one of those branches, okay? I put outside the school some flags like this that stand for each of the branches of the military. They're along the front of the school, kind of where you might get out as a car rider in the morning or in the afternoon. And like the one you see right here in the very front is the Marine Corps. And so each branch of service has a flag. That's the Army, I think the Navy maybe, the Air Force. And when I bought these, they didn't have the Coast Guard. So I'm on the hunt for a Coast Guard flag. I have each of the branches, but I am missing the Coast Guard, okay? So each branch has their own flag, and they also have their own song. Last year, if you were a student here, we did a Veterans Day parade, and we played the different songs of each branch as students and a relative that they knew walked around the school in our parade, okay? This year, since things are a little different, we can't have visitors, we couldn't do our parade. So I figured I would share with you a really good book, and it is called The Wall. And it refers to the Vietnam Wall that is in Washington, D.C. The Vietnam Wall is for the Vietnam War. And fifth graders, maybe even a little bit of fourth grade, I think mostly fifth grade, y'all will learn about this war this year. And we know wars are terrible and horrible, but this war was really bad too, and lots of people lost their lives. There's another holiday called Memorial Day, and that is when we remember and have a memory of all the veterans who lost their lives, okay? So this holiday, Veterans Day, is for anyone who has served in the branches of military. Something that's also neat, you can always remember what day Veterans Day is, because it's on the 11th month of the year, on the 11th day, and in the 11th hour. I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, but I think that might be where they signed the peace treaty for World War I. I'll have to look that up, okay? But I think that's how they determined the day for Veterans Day, the 11th month, the 11th day, and the 11th hour. So let's get started in our story called The Wall, and Eve Bunting is the author, and the illustrator is, let me find it, here's the title page, there it is, Ronald Himmler. That is the illustrator. And in Washington, D.C., if you've ever been, there's monuments for all the different wars. And the Vietnam Wall is just this black wall, and it starts off low because it represents how many people died each year of the war. So at the very beginning of the war, it's real low down because there's not that many people have died. But as the war progresses, years, more and more people die, and then it kind of levels off, and then it starts going back down again. So that's something interesting about the Vietnam Wall. This is the wall, my grandfather's wall. On it are the names of those killed in a war long ago. Where's Grandpa's name, I ask. We have to find it, Dad says. He and I have come a long way for this, and we walk slowly searching. It might be hard to see, but this is the Washington Monument right there. And so it's real close. And you can tell way down here it's small, and it gradually gets higher and higher and higher as more and more people were killed in the war. The wall is black and as shiny as a mirror. In it, I can see Dad and me. So there's their reflections. I can see the bare trees behind us and the dark flying clouds. A man in a wheelchair stares at the names. He doesn't have legs. I'm looking, and he sees me looking and smiles. Hi, son. Hi. His hat is a soft, squashed green, and there are medals on it. His pant legs are folded back, and his shirt is a soldier's shirt. Do you think he might be a veteran? I think he is a veteran. A woman old as my grandma is hugging a man old as my grandpa would be. They are both crying. Shh, he whispers, shh. Flowers and other things have been laid against the wall. There are little flags, an old teddy bear, and letters weighted with stones so they won't blow away. Someone has left a rose with a droopy head. Why do you think people would come and just leave stuff there at the wall? Maybe to honor the person that they know whose name is on that wall? Have you found Grandpa yet? I ask. No, Dad says. There are so many names. They are listed under the years when they were killed. I've found 1967. That's when my grandpa died. Dad runs his fingers along the rows of print, and I do too. The letters march side by side like rows of soldiers. They're nice and even. It's better printing than I can do. The wall is warm. Dad is searching and searching. Albert A. Jensen, Charles Bernowski, George Muniz, he mutters. His fingers stop moving. Here he is. My grandpa? I ask. Dad nods. Your grandpa. His voice blurs. My dad. He was just my age when he was killed. Dad's rubbing the name, rubbing and rubbing as if he wants to wipe it away. Maybe he just wants to remember the way it feels. He lifts me so I can touch it too. So on the wall are just names listed like this. And they go one after the other, and there's little dots that separate it. We brought paper. Dad puts it over the letters and rubs on it with a pencil so the paper goes dark and the letters show up white. You've got parts of other guys' names on there too, I tell him. So as he's trying to rub his father's name, other names are getting on that paper. Dad looks at the paper. Your grandpa won't mind. They were probably friends of his anyway, I say. Dad nods. Maybe so. A man and a boy walk past. Can we go to the river now, Grandpa? The boy asks. Yes. The man takes the boy's hands. But button your jacket. It's cold. So it's kind of interesting here. These two are having such an important moment in their lives, something this little boy's never going to forget. And then here's these two folks. It's a granddad and a grandson. And guess what? He doesn't have his granddad, does he? So that's a sacrifice some of our veterans make when they join the military. My dad stands very still with his head bent. A bunch of big girls in school uniforms come down the path. Their teacher is with them. They are all carrying more of those little flags. Is this wall for the dead soldiers, Miss Gerber? One of them asks in a loud voice. The names are the names
Yes,
of the
ma'am.
dead. But the wall is for all of us, the teacher says. So that's kind of an interesting idea. She says that yes, the wall is for the people who died, but it's also for us. It's for people like you and me. So we'll always remember these veterans, these soldiers who died for us. They make a lot of noise and they ask a lot of questions. And all the time, Dad just stands there with his head bowed, and I stand beside him. So his dad's probably feeling sad right now, isn't he? Thinking, I missed out on all these times of me growing up, and now I have a son and you don't see the son. The girls stick their flags in the dirt in front of the wall and leave. Then it's quiet again. Dad folds the paper that has Grandpa's name on it and puts it in his wallet. He slides out a picture of me, one of the yucky ones they took in school. Mom made me wear a tie. Dad puts the picture on the grass below Grandpa's name. It blows away. I get it, and I put it back and pile some little stones on top. My face smiles up at me from under the stones. So that's sweet. They left the little boy's picture there. Grandpa won't know who I am, I tell Dad. I think he will, Dad says. I move closer to him. It's sad here. He puts his hand on my shoulder. I know, but it's a place of honor. I'm proud that your grandfather's name is on this wall. I am too. And I am. So that's a good point. It is a sad place, but it's also a place of honor, a place to recognize all those soldiers. But I'd rather have my grandpa here, taking me to the river, telling me to button my jacket because it's cold. I'd rather have him here. We would, wouldn't we? When you know someone's passed away, especially much younger than they should have, you can't help but kind of want them to be there with you instead. All right, here's an important note in the back. It says the Vietnam Veterans Memorial honors the men and women of the armed forces of the United States who served in the Vietnam War. On it are listed the names of those who gave their lives and those missing in action. The memorial is located in Washington, D.C. On the long black wall are more than 58,000 names. So that's a lot of folks. We know that 58,000 people died in the Vietnam War, or they were missing in action. No one ever saw them again. Okay? So some veterans serve in the military and they never have to go to a war because of the time frame. Like the past several years, we haven't had any big huge wars, so a lot of the folks serving in our military haven't had to go to a war. But not all that long ago, we had the Iraqi war and the war on terrorism and things like that. So several of you might have parents or close relatives who did serve in that war. All right, and so don't forget, it can be confusing because there's Memorial Day where we honor those who passed away in service. They died fighting in a battle, kind of like this. And then we have Veterans Day where we honor those that are living and have served in the military, okay? This little book just gives a few little facts about Veterans Day. And yes, so it says on November 11th, I was wanting to check that. It was bothering me. It says on November 11th in 1918, World War I ended and people celebrated. So that was the day, I think it was called Armistice Day, that the war ended. Germany surrendered, and that's how this day became Armistice Day. And armistice means to stop fighting. So there they are agreeing and are congratulating one another because the World War I was over. It says many years later, the holiday was changed to Veterans Day. And Veterans Day honors veterans from all wars. Okay, the poppy is a symbol of Veterans Day. All right, it's a red poppy, and I believe that comes from Flanders Fields. Okay, so just remember today's a special day for our country, and if you know somebody in your family or a friend or anybody who was a veteran, you should thank them for their service, okay? All right, guys, don't forget you can still be practicing your Literacy Day poems. Anything big going on? Teachers, tomorrow is a faculty meeting, okay? But that's about it. All right, guys, have a great day. We'll see you around the school.